For 65 years, Alpine built small, light, and two-seated. The A110 weighed 1,100 kilograms. It had 2 seats. It was the most driver-focused thing at its price point by a significant margin. The A390 GT has 5 seats, weighs over 2,100 kilograms, and is fully electric. Whether any of the original Alpine survived the transformation is what brought me to the Salzburg Motor Show floor. The A390 GT sits lower than the photos suggest. On the Salzburg Motor Show floor in matte gray, the black wheel arch surrounds pull the body downward visually, and the pressed surface complexity on the flanks, all those forms between the front and rear arches, creates depth that shifts as you move around the car. At the front, a thin horizontal LED strip runs just above the lower bumper geometry, and 4 vertical light signatures in the headlights reference the A110 without copying it directly. The fastback roofline drops cleanly from the C-pillar to the tailgate, ending in a full-width rear light bar that connects both taillights into a single graphic. A small fixed spoiler sits at the roofline lip. Through the 20-inch diamond-cut alloy wheel spokes, Alpine blue brake calipers are visible. Those are not decorative. The torque vectoring system driving each rear wheel independently gives those brakes a very specific job. And what produces all of that is coming up after the interior. Open the door of the Salzburg Motor Show A390 GT, and the cabin does not feel like any Renault you have sat in recently. Dark technical fabrics line the headliner. The ambient lighting strip across the dashboard runs in electric blue. The material quality in the surfaces you actually contact, door pulls, seat bolsters, steering wheel rim, reads as premium rather than aspirationally priced. Whether it matches a Porsche Macan at the same money is a question worth asking. The answer to that is in the verdict. The specific detail that changes the interior conversation is in the front cabin. The steering wheel is hexagonal, a direct reference to Alpine's racing program, with a flat bottom physical controls across both spokes, a blue regenerative braking dial on the left, and a red button at the top left spoke marked OV. Overtake. Press it, and the powertrain delivers 10 seconds of additional power beyond its standard output. In a car with 5 seats and a family boot, I find that choice genuinely interesting. Not as a gimmick, but as a statement about where Alpine wants this car to sit in your mind. The 12-inch portrait touchscreen runs Google services and the Alpine portal interface. It responds quickly on this show car example. The Devialet 13-speaker audio system is standard on the GT. The driving position sits notably low for a car of this size, much lower than the Porsche Macan or BMW i4, and this is an engineering decision rather than a packaging consequence. You sit inside the A390 GT. You do not look down at the road from above it. The front pillars are steeply angled, which can limit sightlines at junctions, and that is worth knowing before you drive one in a busy city. The rear seats on this Salzburg Motor Show example are finished in dark navy leather with contrast stitching that carries the material quality story from front to back. A near 6-footer has adequate knee room in the back of the A390 GT. The 89 kilowatt-hour battery pack in the floor raises the seating position, so the angle of your knees tilts upward rather than sitting flat, and the fastback roofline closes in overhead toward the outer positions. It feels like sitting inside a large coupe back here rather than an SUV, because in silhouette terms that is exactly what it is. For shorter journeys or younger passengers, the rear cabin is genuinely comfortable. For 2 tall adults across a long motorway run, it is a conversation worth having before you commit. The panoramic glass roof overhead helps with the sense of space. 532 liters of boot space, approximately 18.8 cubic feet, with a 60/40 rear seat fold. There is no front boot, because the aerodynamic bonnet openings that reduce drag at speed close off the front cavity. The loading lip is deeper than you expect from a car at this price, and the swooping rear bodywork means anything with an irregular shape takes a moment of thinking. Charging cables live under the boot floor, which is the sensible place for them given the lateral forces this car can generate when you use the OV button properly. The underfloor storage is standard on the GT. 3 electric motors, 1 at the front axle, 2 at the rear, each rear motor driving its wheel independently through Alpine Active Torque Vectoring. Combined output is 400 horsepower and 661 Newton-meters of torque, which is 488 pound-feet, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.8 seconds, the same figure to 62 miles per hour. Top speed is electronically limited to 200 kilometers per hour, around 124 miles per hour. The 89 kilowatt-hour battery delivers a WLTP range of 555 kilometers on the 20-inch wheels, around 345 miles. Peak DC charging for the GT is 150 kilowatts, with Alpine quoting 15 to 80% in 29 minutes. A heat pump is standard. What this car costs relative to the Porsche Macan 4 Electric is the argument, and it lands now. €67,500. The Porsche Macan 4 Electric starts higher in comparable specification and produces less. The BMW i4 Grand Coupe has better interior tactility, a stronger badge for resale, and a frunk. Those are real advantages, and I am not dismissing them. But the question I brought to the Salzburg Motor show floor was whether Alpine lost its identity on the way to building a 2-ton SUV. The answer is in the low driving position, in the hexagonal steering wheel, in the red OV button, and in the torque vectoring architecture that makes this car feel smaller and sharper than its curb weight should allow. They did not build a Renault in a performance jacket. They built something with its own logic, and that is harder to do than it sounds. The video with the Macan 4 Electric is right here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions. I read every single one. And don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified about my next upload. See you in the next video.